Hey friends, if you're interested in learning more about the new Lawful Prospective Immigrant Status, watch this video. In this one, I'm going to take you into my presentation, which breaks down what this LPI status is, who is eligible for it, and many other details pertaining to this status. LPI status is created under the new U.S. Citizenship Act that was just introduced on Capitol Hill. I will be sure to keep you guys posted on the changes that are happening with that bill. As of the filming of today's video, this is the framework that's laid out in the U.S. Citizenship Act. Now, what is the LPI status? It's the lawful status for undocumented immigrants that leads to citizenship. How long does it last? It's granted initially for a term of 6 years, and it can be extended for another 6-year term. And just note also that it can be revoked if a person somehow fails the criminal or national security background check and takes him or herself out of the eligibility category. Now, what are the basic requirements for applying for this new status? The first thing is that one must pass the criminal and national security background checks at both the initial filing and certainly at the extension filing as well. Second, they must also submit an application, pay application fees or filing fees unless they are exempt from paying those filing fees. And the individual must also be physically present in the United States when they apply for LPI status. And they must also have continuously been present in the United States from January 1st, 2021 until the application is approved. Now, lastly, if you're outside of the United States due to removal or you've departed from the United States on or after January 20th, 2017, but you were previously inside the United States for at least 3 years prior to leaving, you may actually get a waiver to come back into the United States under this LPI status. Now, what about your spouse and children? Will they also get the status? Yes, a separate application is not required for your spouse or children to qualify or be eligible for the LPI status. Will you get a card to show proof that you have this LPI status? Yes, a non-citizen will also get a social security card and an employment authorization document. Now, what else? A non-citizen may travel outside of the United States so long as they don't stay out for a period longer than 180 days, and they may also enroll in qualified health plans under the Affordable Care Act. Now, who is not eligible for LPI status? Well, firstly, those who fail the criminal history or background check, others who fail the national security check. And I will say that if this passes, it will go through a lengthy rulemaking process in which the Department of Homeland Security, I should say, will need to draft rules which will drill down a bit further into the eligibility criteria. But as of now, we know broadly that if an individual does not pass the criminal background and national security check, then they will not get this LPI status. Additionally, those who have smuggled in non-citizens, others who have avoided military service are also not eligible. Those who were caught up in international child abductions, or folks who have given up their U.S. citizenship in order to avoid paying taxes, those individuals are not eligible for LPI status as well. Additionally, if you're a lawful permanent resident, you're not eligible for it. And quite frankly, you don't need it. Asylees, those who have been designated as an asylee, are also not eligible for LPI. Same with refugees. If you have been given or granted that refugee status, you're not eligible for LPI. Non-immigrants, those who are here in a lawful status temporarily under a visa, you're also not eligible for it. However, there are some exemptions, and I'm going to talk about that shortly. And then lastly, there's a small group of individuals who were paroled into Guam. They are also not eligible for this LPI status. Okay, so going back to the non-immigrant bar now, spouses and children of the non-immigrant who holds that non-immigrant visa, they are exempt. They are actually eligible to apply for the LPI status. Also, individuals who are engaged in essential critical labor or services during COVID, folks who have the H-2A visa, as well as TPS recipients, they are exempt and they may apply for this non-immigrant, they may apply for the LPI status. What about unlawful reentry folks? Now, this is interesting, and I've alluded to this before in other videos, but non-citizens, according to the U.S. Citizenship Act, non-citizens who were deported or took voluntary departure, but they unlawfully re-entered the United States, they are actually also eligible for LPI, so long as they had re-entered before January 1st, 2021. They were physically here in back in the United States on January 1st, 2021, then they are actually eligible to apply for the LPI status. What about those who had filed a frivolous asylum application or had been found to have filed a frivolous asylum application? Well, those non-citizens who have done that, under our current law, they are permanently barred from seeking any other immigration benefit. But that rule does not apply under the U.S. Citizenship Act, and therefore those individuals are eligible as well to apply for LPI status. Now, can the LPI individual seek other relief, right? If they had been granted the LPI status, but now they're actually eligible for adjustment of status, maybe through a spouse, U.S. citizen spouse or U.S. citizen child, can they actually apply for adjustment of status? And the answer is yes. Under this bill, a non-citizen is also eligible to apply for any other immigration status that they're eligible to apply for. Now, what documents are required for LPI status? Well, in my last video on this topic, and I'm going to link to it here, I talked a little bit about the documents that are required, things such as your passport, birth certificate, any proof of your identity. Under the bill, you must also submit proof of your physical presence here in the United States, that you're here, and that you're physically here in the United States. And then if you're seeking exemption from paying the application fee, you'll need to submit some documents to show that you're eligible for the exemption as well. Now, how can an LPI get a green card? Well, firstly, they must pass the criminal and national security background checks. They must also file the application, and they must have been in this LPI status for at least 5 years before they become eligible to adjust their status. Next, there's the continuous presence requirement. The LPI has not been continuously absent from the United States for more than 180 days in a calendar year, and the bill does provide some exceptions to that rule as well. Next, the LPI must also pay all federal tax liability. Now, spouse and children may apply for adjustment of status, again, along with the LPI. Now, when can an LPI apply for naturalization? Well, the person must be in that status for 5 years, and then at the end of the 5 years, they're then able to apply for the green card through the adjustment of status process, and they must be an LPR or a lawful permanent resident for 3 years before they then become eligible to apply for naturalization. Now, along the way, they have to again pass criminal and national security background checks before they're able to advance to the next level. So this is an 8-year pathway to citizenship. Now, under the U.S. Citizenship Act, it tweaks the naturalization residence rules slightly. What it does is it says that if an individual had been in lawful status and eligible for work authorization for 3 years prior to becoming a lawful permanent resident, then that individual can apply for naturalization once they've hit 3 years of residence as a green card holder rather than 5. That's how it makes it possible for an LPI to become naturalized at the 8-year mark. Now, the big question that I've been getting a lot of is, when can I apply for the new LPI status? Well, friends, you've got to remember that this is a process, right? The U.S. Citizenship Act must first make its way through the House and Senate. and then to the president's desk for signature. And we've already talked about how challenging that's going to be. However, the legislators who have put this bill together, they're optimistic that they could get something done, something robust and something substantial, and something that would include a pathway to citizenship for those who are here undocumented. Now, after the bill passes, after the bill is signed into law, rules must then be drafted within a year after the president signs it. And then USCIS will publish the application. So this is not going to be an overnight process. It will take some time for the LPI status application to be made available to you for submission. This is one of those videos that you'll need to go back to from time to time as the U.S. Citizenship Act makes its way through Congress, so that you could just refresh your memory on what the LPI status is and how it may impact you and your family. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, share it with other people, comment below, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks so much for watching. Bye-bye.